What's up, guys? I'm Andrew, and this is the story of my stressful week. So here's the story. I've had a cough this past week that's progressively gotten worse. I didn't think it was COVID related because I wasn't having any other symptoms, including a fever, and had been checking my temperature regularly. So I decided that I would just go to the convenient care to find out what it could be. So when I got there, the first thing they do is ask if you're having COVID symptoms and take your temperature. So I had to say, well, I have a cough, which is why I'm here. So she said, well, let me see if they'll even take you. She called back there and they didn't pick up. So then she runs back to talk to somebody and comes back out and says, well, this probably isn't the answer you want, but handed me a card with the number for the drive-through COVID testing they had there at that building. So I went back out to my car and called the number and said, they've sent me to speak with you. I explained that I had a cough, but didn't think it was COVID related because I didn't have any other symptoms or a fever. And she said, well, do you even want to take a COVID test? And I said, well, I will if it means I can see somebody. So she said what she would do is call my primary physician first to see what they would do and if they would take me without a COVID test. So I called my regular doctor and spoke with the nurse, and she said, well, he'll probably want you to take a COVID test anyway just to rule it out. So I was still sitting in the parking lot of the convenient care, called back to the drive-through testing that was there since I was already there, and said, well, I guess I'll just come through your drive-through then. She said what I would do is have your primary physician order you a test because you won't be billed for it. You will be billed for it if you come through here because we are going to have to treat it like an appointment since you already have symptoms, including a cough. So I called back to my primary physician and explained to them that I would be billed otherwise and asked if my doctor could order me a test. So she said, yes, I will ask your doctor if he will order you a test. He's at lunch right now, so we'll get back to you this afternoon. So I said, okay. So I went home, not knowing what was going to happen, if I was even going to be able to be tested that day or what. I still didn't feel well. So after I ate lunch, my doctor's office called back, and the nurse said that the doctor had ordered a test for me and where I should go to get it. So I drove to the testing site, and it was like a drive-through, pulled in through the tent, and here's how that went. Well, I'm driving home from just getting tested for COVID. I am so mad at myself because I didn't even get it on camera. I pulled up into the little tent thing, and I had my phone in my lap, selfie camera, and I started recording. And I just sat there, I had my window down, I just sat there for about 15 to 20 seconds, just kind of looking out the window, waiting on them to come over and get my information. So I stopped my camera and thought, well, I'll just wait until they come back over to test me. So I turned it off, and then the woman asked for my name and my birthday. And then another woman came up from behind me, like my blind spot, I couldn't see her, and had the swabs ready to go. Well, in the process of stopping the recording, I accidentally somehow flipped my camera to the slow-mo or the time lapse or whatever it was. So there's just so much going on. She had the swabs out. I'm trying to take my mask off. I see the red button on my phone to record, but I'm not realizing that it's on the time lapse or the slow-mo. So on each of those, or one of those, whatever it is, there's no selfie camera. So then I'm like, why is there no selfie camera on my video thing? Is my phone flaking out? What is going on? So then she's like, you could go ahead and take your mask off or put your mask down for me. It was like all of that was going on at once. So it was really overwhelming. So I ended up just giving up on recording it. And then she did the test and it was done. And it actually wasn't the big swab that you've probably seen other people have, where the thing is like really long and they ram it up your nose. It was just a Q-tip, and she just did the inside of my nostril, each one, so it wasn't that bad. Hopefully, the test results come back
sooner rather than later, because if they come back super late, like a week later, and it's negative, then that whole time I could have been on something. And if it's positive, then you obviously don't want to wait super long to know that either. So that's been my Monday so far.
So I actually was extremely upset with myself that I didn't get any of it on camera. I had planned it out that I would just have my phone on selfie mode, and everything was going on, and it was just a little overwhelming, and I was trying to worry about the phone, trying to worry about taking my mask off, and then the nurse that was there trying to take my test was trying to take my test, and so I failed miserably on that part. Also, I was really expecting to have one of those long swabs jammed up your nose. I've had one of those done prior to COVID, so I knew what to expect. Not that I wanted to do it, but I was pleasantly surprised to find that it was just basically 2 Q-tips that they just got inside of each nostril, and that was that. And it took about 30 seconds, and you drove through and you were done. So while I didn't think that it was going to come back positive, I thought in the slight chance that that I would feel pretty bad if I had went and been around people. So the next day, I was supposed to have my hair appointment that I obviously need, and I had waited about 3 weeks for it and was ready to get my hair cut. And I thought, well, it'd be pretty irresponsible of me to go knowing that I've been tested for COVID, and although I don't think I have it, who knows? And if it comes back positive, I would feel pretty bad for being around all those people at the hair salon. So then that created a mess, because I've been called to go back to work next week, and I need my haircut before I go back to work. So then that's created a mess about, when am I going to get my test back? Am I going to get it before I even go back to work? When am I going to get my hair done now? So it created this whole mess of things. And I thought, I haven't been out a whole lot. I haven't. Since March 18th, that was the day I was furloughed. I haven't been out. So that's almost been 5 months. I could probably count the number of times I've been out on my hands. Most of it's been errands. I think I've went out twice just for fun. I went to Von Maur and I went to Dick's, and that was when things first opened back in May. Other than errands like going to the credit union or having my oil change done, I haven't been out, even though I didn't know the test results yet. I thought, this just shows how easy it would be to get it, even if you haven't been out a whole lot, because there are people that don't know that they are sick or don't have the symptoms for it. It just shows how easy it might be to get it. So Thursday, I finally got a call back from my doctor's office saying, thankfully, it was negative. So that means I could make an appointment for Friday to find out what it is that's causing this cough of mine. And I also went ahead and made an appointment for my hair for next week. And work was gracious enough to allow me to push my start date a week back. And that way I could get this taken care of, so I'm not scaring people while I'm at work with a cough, even though it's not COVID, and get my hair done before I go back to work, because it is long. Anyway, I just wanted to share my odd, stressful, eye-opening week. Even more so than before, I've been very cautious, more than most people, I think. Even though the test came back negative, I still wanted to share my experience with you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you guys next time.